What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm out in Italy, Texas, and as you can see behind me, we've got steel frame happening on a brand new project. I'm going to get into some of the details. I hope you enjoy this video. Let's get it going. And we are starting another project. This is one that's been coming along for some time, actually. We poured the slab, man, I don't know how long it's been. We actually had some challenges because there was a main power line running right through our foundation, meaning that we couldn't erect any steel or go vertical with this project. So we've been waiting all this time, and now it's here. It's a great big monitor style build. So we're gonna get into some of the details here, but you guys, the progress has already begun, and you can see a lot of details coming together. This is going to be an exciting project. It's a monitor style, mostly meaning that you got that beautiful gable centered with the lower wings on each side. This one will tear down a couple of times, actually. You can see right now we're kind of tying the middle in with the sides right now. And we've done this split design multiple times. The Sadler Barndominium technically was a much smaller version of this. Malakoff might had a little bit of that style. The Blum shell only. If I keep naming them, then the guys will have to show you a picture of everyone. So, you know, it is pretty cool. I like a good monitor style build. And this one is designed by none other than Stacy Lynn, the Barndominium Company. So it's grand. It's gonna be big. We've got roughly 4,300 square foot of living quarters alone right here. And about 2,000 square foot of porch space. So very large porch. We've got a whole lot going on with this build, and our steel fabricating team is here right now. Now, we have had a couple of problems as we've started out. Number one being that our sky track is down. I think a large portion of this mainframe steel we were able to stand up. We had the mobile mechanic out here today, and they were looking at this. I'm not even sure what's wrong with it, but they assure us that they're going to have this going again tomorrow. But nevertheless, Brandon did stop by just a little bit ago, and they were able to stand up some of this steel that I wasn't thinking they were going to be able to stand up. So they've got some of the main I-beams now standing. They can keep moving forward with installing some of these purlins. So a lot of good progress is underway. All that to say this, we also are doing a detached shop right here at a little bit lower elevation than where this is going to sit. Big, large back porch. There's going to be a big pool back here as well. So as soon as we get far enough along in construction, we're going to turn the pool contractor loose back here, and they're going to start building a pool. But obviously most of these critical things, large things to work on the house, are going to be done. What else can I tell you right away? I'm not going to really do much, just giving you the layout inside. I'm going to do a little bit of that once we get going. But I might share with you a little bit of details about what is the difference between a hybrid steel frame Barndominium versus an advanced hybrid steel frame. This one's going to be our typical hybrid steel framing. So I'm interested to share a little bit of that with you guys. In terms of hybrid steel frame Barndominiums, You might ask, what is the difference in a hybrid steel frame Barndominium and an advanced hybrid steel frame Barndominium? And for that, I would say if you've been watching the channel since we did like our black gold Barndominium and our sports Barndominium that we've been more recently showcasing, you can see how we basically will have a steel structure like this that is encompassed with the zip system. That means all of the walls, all of the roof, all of it is encompassed with zip system. Now this is going to be one of our standard hybrid steel frames, so it won't have the zip up on the roof. And some people are always, I don't know, just mesmerized, like, well, why don't you just always do that? Well, it just costs more money than what standard pricing is already set to. That's why we call it our advanced hybrid steel frame versus standard. What does that mean for a build like this? That just means that our roof lines are going to be open to the bottom to the bare steel, meaning that we are going to use a closed cell foam that we will basically insulate to prevent condensation, conduction, all these things for the inside efficiencies. And of course, everybody's always like, what if you have to change your roof? And I'm always telling people that if I was going to change a roof on a structure like this, I would go over top. We do conservative spacing for the purlins so that this could now become a roof deck. So you could first strip that out. You could flatten it out with infiller if you wanted. I have done commercial roofing in the past where I went over top of our panel, and we actually went to a TPO, which you wouldn't want to do here on a residential. But let's say you wanted to add even a little more insulation, you could put what they call a flue filler in between the ribs of the panels. It's called a flue filler, and you could then have a complete flat surface that you're working with. Maybe run a first strip and put standing seam over top if you'd like. So there's really a lot of options going over top, using that existing roof as a deck. I would do that as opposed to ripping the roof off. That is my recommendation. In the event that you're doing an advanced frame, there's also things to consider about that as well. Obviously, you'd have a substrate there and you wouldn't have to be as concerned about getting roof damage. You could use any type of roof that you'd want. You could use a standing seam, you could use a standard R panel. You could also put a shingle on there if you wanted to. Now, I personally wouldn't do that. I would always go metal at this point for Barndominiums, but hopefully that helps explain to you a little bit between the standard hybrid steel frame that we do and our advanced hybrid steel frame. Both are really great options, but the advanced also has some additional benefits because we're usually working to do more of a monopoly style framing, meaning where we will attach the zip system at the corners of the roof line and the walls, and then add our overhangs after the fact. So hopefully that helps explain it a little bit more to you guys. But I will say, when we're able to go to a post frame build like you saw us do on our Blum shell only and our Woodhouse project for Stacy Lynn, there it made it easy to convert everything to zip system. And that's a good option if your dimensional framework would allow for it. So there's a few different types of ways that we build a Barndominium. One is rapid post frame, 2 is hybrid steel frame, 3 is advanced hybrid steel frame. Those are the 3 options. Now, from a finishing standpoint, we do a turnkey build, or we can do a shell only build. This will be a turnkey build. It's pretty close to our area as well. So we're really excited about this project. Hope you guys will stick around for a lot more to come on this build. So this will be the large open living room space. It's gonna be huge open area right here. So you're starting to see what kind of volume of headspace we can create with steel. And that's just one of the many advantages of this. And you guys will see how we do this once all of our framing is done. But we've got a lot of great things that we can conclude from steel framing. One being that we will have a lot more headroom than we would if we were running like trusses across here. Instead, we have the 8-inch, meaning we have the most attic space as possible over like all these bedroom areas. And it's probably going to take quite the space when it comes to mechanicals and all the stuff that we're trying to accomplish here. So this is pretty sweet. On this side, we will have another step down, so this will be lower. And sometimes you do that kind of stuff just to give it a little more dimension. So that is very well what that could have been all about. So right now we're just double checking some of our lines here, coming down straight down this center point as we're doing the framing. This is always a good thing to do as you're moving along, but a lot of good things happening here. This, we have more that we're going to be doing as we're adding some of this other framing in here. But we'll be adding purlins as well all through here, and some additional support loads or some supports. All right, guys. Well, as the progress continues here, we'll be back showing you a lot more on this Italy Barndominium. We've got a whole lot more to come, and we've got a whole nother structure to build too. But ultimately, I'll get back in here once we get all the steel tidy, and maybe even when we're getting the roof put on. You guys know how we like to do it, cover the roof up as we start all the wood framing. So we got a lot of progress to come on the channel. Hybrid steel frame Barndominium, yet another one. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, I hope you do that now. Don't miss an episode. So I appreciate you guys. Hope you've enjoyed this video. We couldn't do it without you. We're nearing 180,000 subscribers. Help push us to 200,000. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do that now. Also, don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram. I'm Josh Helm, wishing you all the best. Thanks for watching. Texas Best.